everybody. So I'm in the middle of doing a garden reset. Okay, so this is what the garden looks like. Now I think I posted on Instagram last week that I have been doing a garden reset because this winter was really rough, and it tore down a lot of um, my planters and things like to that nature, and it completely ruined all that big snowstorm completely ruined my greenhouse. But anyways, I got a new greenhouse, and me and my husband is putting it together. But meanwhile, we still got some action going on in the garden. um, so let's see. We have these are cauliflower. Those are cauliflower, those are chives. I planted some peas. Yeah, these are the chives. They're coming back. This is year 3 for them. Yeah, and then here, those are peas. I put carrots in this container. And let's see, what do we have here? I think we have cabbage. Yep, the green are a line of cabbage, and the purple are purple cabbage. So yeah, so they look pretty healthy and happy. Yeah, those are the green cabbage, and these are the purple. Yeah, so I planted them out like 3 days ago. And yeah, I put some Swiss chard right there in that corner. I don't really eat it, but I think it's pretty in the garden. I did taste it though, and it's not that I don't like it. I like it, but I think it's just more prettier in the garden to look at. Yeah, so I put peas in that container. So yeah, so as you can see, we got a lot of stuff that has to be done, and that is the foundation for my polycarbonate greenhouse. And yeah, I fertilized that bed, and I gotta fertilize that bed in the back there. And yeah, so I completely tore my garden down. I know y'all like, this girl tears her garden down every year. I think I tore it down last year when I got the little greenhouse. I did a whole reset. So hopefully after this reset, I'll be able to go a winter and just start planting again. But yeah, so this is the polycarbonate greenhouse, and I am so excited. So, being as though me and my husband started putting it together and we stopped, we just got our work cut out for us, okay? So, hence why we're going indoors in a few minutes, because I got a lot of things planted in the house. So, I'll see you in the house in a second. Okay, so we're indoors now, and I'm in my basement, which is my famous work area for all kinds of things, for my arts and crafts and, you know, different things. So while the greenhouse is still being put together, I figured I gotta do something. I gotta get some seeds planted, some more seeds planted right now, because I do have seedlings planted, but they're snuggled up upstairs, and I'll give you guys a peek at those later. But for now, we're going to get some more seedlings planted, because I need for my garden to be fully packed with what's going to be in there by at least June the 1st, okay, for the first half of the summer. So I normally keep my seedlings in or keep them incubating for 12 weeks. So how I keep track is I got my little trusty gardening book. Okay. So in this this little book, I just, write down what it is that I'm doing. So the first round of seeds that's upstairs, they have bloomed, and they're growing pretty nicely, but they're still too young to go outside. I have to start working on hardening them off. But I planted those on March the 9th. So March the 9th, 12 weeks from March the 9th will be June the 1st. Okay. So all of those seedlings that's upstairs, everything that's planted, will be going into the garden on June the 1st, which I planted beets, and I planted, I planted the Cherokee purple tomatoes. I'm going to try to pop a picture of those up. The Cherokee purple tomatoes, and I planted some Rio Grande tomatoes. I also planted several rounds of basil. I planted sweet basil, and I planted another type of basil. I'm going to put a picture of it somewhere in here. So that was all the room I have for, and I planted some marigolds. So yeah, so this booklet just, I just put down what it is that I'm planting and the date, and then I'll ask Google to give me, 12 weeks from that date that I planted them, and it'll let me know what date I would be able to have them out into the garden. Okay, so yeah, so this book comes in handy. Okay, so tonight, the date is March the 29th. Today is March the 29th. And 12 weeks from today is June 21st. Okay, so whatever I'm planting in here tonight should be big enough and ready to go out into the garden on June the 21st. So let's make sure we got enough space to just jot down what it is we're going to be planting. Okay, so we got our book ready. And here is our seeds. Now, I did a lot of searching, and I'm still waiting for some seeds to come from a couple vendors on Amazon. And I picked these seedlings up today while I was out. I picked up some collards, so I think I'm going to get these planted June the 1st. Yeah. These going to have to definitely get planted. And I think I'll wait and hold off on this pack, and plant these in the fall. Okay. But we're going to definitely plant some collards. We're going to get down some sunflowers. Okay. Let me see. Tomatoes. Should I plant these today? Yeah, let's get them down. Yeah, let's get these down. So we're going to plant these beefsteak tomatoes, and these are heirloom. So we're going to plant those. We're going to plant these seedlings. I absolutely love these. Y'all seen those. Oh, and these were my favorite from last year. And if y'all all follow me, you remember these from last summer. Okay. So we're going to plant those. And the ones I'm going to hold off on, like the corn, I'll direct sow these in the ground when it gets warm, okay? Because you need to know like what seedlings could go in the ground at a certain time. And the corn, I like to direct sow corn. But last year I did transplant corn. If y'all look at some of my videos from the gardening series from last summer, you saw that it can be done. A lot of gardeners say you can't do that. But if you follow me from last summer, you'll see Miss Tanya definitely did that last summer. Okay. So here, what else are we going to plant tonight? These are some pumpkins. We're going to put these away because I like to direct sow these, but I did pick these up yesterday. So all of these we're going to put away. These are some flowers. I like to plant alyssum. I might plant these tonight. I don't know. I'm going to definitely plant these tonight. These are perennials too. And it says 15 days till germination. So we're definitely going to plant these. These are blanket flowers. Okay. So yeah, so I got 2 packs of those. So I'm going to plant those. I'm going to hold off on the squash because she's one of the 3 sisters. You know, I plant the corn, the squash, and the string beans together. They like to be together. Okay, so we're going to plant these. Okay, get these seedlings down. And let's see what else food we're going to get down. Okay. Oh, yeah. These are the tomatoes that I planted. The Black Beauties. They're upstairs. They already germinated too. They are so pretty. But these, let me tell you how delicious this tomato is. I planted one of these last year. And I got a nice little harvest off of it. I had so wished I would have planted more of these. Oh, my goodness. This tomato tastes so good. I had never tasted a tomato that tasted that good. Yeah, so that's what the Black Beauties look like. So you see, both of these are open. I planted both of these. Yes, I did. They are upstairs. And this was the other tomato that I planted. It's also upstairs as well. I'll try to pop a picture somewhere along the top. And I think that might be it. No, we're going to plant some more zinnias. And mustards. I'm going to try to get some mustard greens down. So collards, mustards, oh yeah. She's going to be planted with the corn. Nope, not collards. Corn. I just had it. Corn, collards. Oh, here she is. Yeah, these are the 3 sisters. They like to be planted together in the same bed. So I'll plant all of these 3 together when the weather gets much warmer. And the dirt's at least like 70 degrees. Okay. I'm thinking, so I got some sweet peppers. Let me see, June the 1st. 66 to 74 days to harvest. Seeds, let me see, growing tips. Start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. Okay, so the last frost date for my area is May 19th. 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. We're going to plant these indoors tonight, okay? I'm not going to chance it. And then that'll give them time. They could take their time and grow. And then by the time the last frost date, if they're, healthy enough, I'll be able to pop them out into my garden, okay? We're not going to take no chances. So we're going to try to get these down. Some mild jalapenos. Some hot jalapenos. I love jalapeno peppers. These are early jalapenos. I'm going to try to get them down too. I want to try to get all of these down. These are some more hot jalapenos. So that does it for that, the sweet and the hot. What else? Okay, so that's about it. That's what we're going to try to do tonight. Other than the mustards, we're going to try to get down. And we're going to try to plant some flowers, which is the zinnias. These are the candy cane zinnias. Last year, they were a champion in my garden. If you followed me last summer, you saw how big my zinnias had grew. Okay. So, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get started on planting. And here's some seeds from my garden that I saved from last year, from my peppers. I might try to sprinkle some of these down too, a little sprinkle. But these are hot bell pepper seeds and jalapenos, jalapenos, however you pronounce it. So, yeah, so let's just try to get started on this. So all of these are going to wait until like the end of next week. The rest of these seeds. And we're going to take these seeds and put them right here. Take my book, get that out of the way. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to mix up some dirt in here. And this one I got from outside. So I make my own garden soil from one of my, I have 3 compost bins outside. And I started making my own compost dirt. Now, I do use this for when I start seeds. And this is the Jiffy Seed Starting Mix. So I just mix this in with my compost dirt that you just seen, because seedlings, when they're young, they need a mixture of different nutrients in the soil, and they need it to be light so the seed could germinate good. I noticed that last year when I used heavy, nothing but compost with my some certain seedlings broke through, like the tomatoes, they germinated fine. All the heavy hitters, like the tomatoes, the jalapeno peppers, they bust through. Let me see, what else came through really heavy in compost? All the heavy feeders, like my pumpkins and the watermelons, the corn, those are heavy hitters. But like, I'm not sure as far as with the other little flowers and things that we're planting. So with this mixture, is not as heavy. It's just all compost. Like if I would have just used all of nothing but compost from my compost bin, you can see the difference in the texture. Okay. See how dark that is? It's really dark and heavy. And it might be kind of hard for the seeds to germinate through that. So that's why I mixed. That's why I used the mixture. Okay? So don't come for me in the comments, okay? But, yep. So here's our mixture. And we're going to get our seeds together. Now what I like to do is wet this down and make little little balls with it. I'll show you guys in a second. Okay, so I'm going to voice over from here on out. Yeah, so I just put a little bit of water in to moisten up the soil and get like a certain, I like to plant in a certain consistency. I don't like it to be too wet. I don't like the soil to be too wet, and I don't like it to be too dry. I like it where it's too, when I squeeze it together, it kind of make like a little ball. See how it's still crumbling? I don't really like it like that. So I'll keep working at it until it gets to be a nice texture. Okay, see, there you go. See how it kind of holds the shape? That's always worked for me. Okay, I'm not saying that that's the holy grail of how the soil should be. You know, this is, again, this is all what works for me. Okay, let's get that understood. So yeah, when I garden, I use anything that, I get my hands on that's, easy and simple for me. Like these little containers, believe it or not, these are containers that I saved after I eat my raspberries and my blueberries, because I absolutely love those raspberries and blueberries that I get from the market. And instead of throwing them containers away, I hold on to them because they got holes already in the bottom. Okay, I don't got to poke holes in it. And all I got to do is just put my dirt in and drop some seeds in. And boom, it's like a automatic little greenhouse, for my seedlings until they get bigger. And then I could transplant them into something else big. See how easy and simple that was? And now I could just drop down my seeds in those little containers. Now you do have to put it inside of another container that don't have holes, because when you water, you don't want all that water, that muddy water, dripping out all over the place. So I have other little containers like you see there, and those are containers too that I just save up from getting stuff out of the supermarket and things to that nature. And yeah, I save all those containers and stuff for gardening. So see, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money, gardening and things to that nature. This is just a hobby for me. But then, the way how things are going, and last summer for sure, I was kind of foreseeing that, a lot of veggies and things like that, everything was going to start going up. And I figure, why not grow a lot of the stuff that we like, and then I'll have some for over the winter, because I did a preserving video too. I preserve a lot of things out of my garden. I pressure can. I still got stuff in my basement, pressure canned from the garden from last summer. So yeah, so I decided that I want to have at least 30 days worth of food, pressure canned, 30 days or more of veggies and things like that, fresh from the garden, pressure canned in my pantry, because we love veggies and things to that nature. But yeah, so see how these little containers are so easy to deal with. And yeah, so that's what, I feel gardening is about. You got to bloom in any season and use whatever you have. Okay, so here we are. First up, we're gonna get these seeds down because it's late, and I decided to do this video pretty late. I am an autism mom, and my son Lance, Mr. Lance, is on the spectrum. He's nonverbal, and sometimes he just don't be having it. Okay, so I got to get these videos in when I can. Okay, so these are the collard greens, and I love collard green seeds because they're a real bulky, heavy seed. And they don't have no problem. I don't have no problem with growing collards. Look at the seeds. They're so nice and robust. So I'll just, plop the seeds down and around in this soil. And I'll just take some more of the seeding soil in that yellow bag that I had. And I'll just sprinkle a little bit over the top and water it in, just to hold the seeds down until the seeds germinate. And that's basically my technique. Now, this is what works for me. I know the garden police is probably going to come across my video and be like, oh, you're planting them too close. Oh, you do. Listen, okay, girl, oh, man, okay, this is what works for me, okay? So I'll always go in and I have to thin out my collard greens anyway, and I separate them anyway, and I put them in different pods as they get bigger before I transplant them in my garden anyway. And I never had a problem with it, with doing that, with collards, okay? Like I said, they're very robust, and they don't mind being handled, or at least when I handle them, they don't seem to mind, okay? So there, I'm just sprinkling a little bit of the seedling soil, which you could see is a lighter color, because it's very light. It kind of reminds me of being, what is that? That brown stuff. It's really light and like peat moss. That's what it kind of reminds me of, like a peat moss. But I get pretty good germination. The seeds don't have no problem with breaking through that at the top. So that's why I always put that at the top, and I put the heavy soil with the compost at the bottom, because we don't want nothing heavy on the seedlings. So yeah, so basically that's my technique, and I'll be planting all the rest of my seedlings like this, and then I have them under a regular light. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I just take a regular piece of tape. I get this tape from Dollar Tree in their auto diesel section in Dollar Tree, and I use the tape as a label. Now, make sure you label your stuff, because I messed around and forgot to label some of my earlier sprouts, and some things are just gonna go out in the garden, and I done forgot what they are. But I have a app on my phone called Plant Identifier. So I'm gonna use the Plant Identifier to identify exactly what it is that, you know, I planted. But long story short, just find a way to label your seedlings and your flowers and plants before you put them out, and you know, before they could go out in the garden. So yeah, those are the collards, and I'm sorry I'm out of focus, you guys, but it has 75 days to germination. So today is March the 29th. So there's March, April, May. So both of those months got like 30, 31 days. So yeah, we'll be able to be harvesting some of these collards by mid-June. I'll be able to take some, pop some out and freeze them, and pressure can some of them. Okay, so yeah, so this is my technique, and you see I'm spreading more of that seedling soil over the top. And yeah, so this is basically what I'll do for all of my seedlings. And again, this is what works for me. So I'm gonna let you guys, you know, watch what's going on, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and we could talk about some more things, okay? Okay, so now we're at one of the parts that I really like, the flower part. So I was kind of indecisive on what I was going to plant where. So I think I'm going to plant the sunflower seeds in that big container. And we're going to start with the blanket flowers and these candy cane zinnias. And I just cannot wait to see how these flowers is going to turn out. Now, last summer, the zinnias was a champion in my garden. You know, they attracted all kinds of helpful, insects like ladybugs and butterflies and bumblebees to do all the pollinating and stuff like that. So, yeah, I can't wait to see. Now, this blanket flower, this is the first time I'm planting that from seed. And here's the thing with these seeds, if y'all haven't noticed, they don't give you much. This is why I said, I decided to start planting a lot of my things from seed. So next season, at the end of the planting season, rather, I'll let a lot of things go to bulk, and I'll have a lot of seeds of my own, and I could, harbor my own seeds, because if for, $2.49 and $1.89, they don't give you much seeds at all, at all. Like all my marigolds that I'm planting, those are my seeds that I harvest from my marigold plants from last year. And I was able to give a big bag of seeds to my neighbor next door, Gail. And she says she loved marigolds. So she got some to plant in her garden. And I got a whole ton of marigolds to put all around my house. But yeah, look at those seeds. They don't give you much. And these seeds are kind of strange looking. Like they'll blow away. I had to make sure I ain't have to sneeze, because they are like really like a really light seed. But again, this is the first time I planted this flower. So I'm laying the seeds on pretty heavy in each little tray. So I don't know. We're going to see. Hopefully they come up. I would say a little prayer. Hopefully they come up. You know what I mean? But yeah, they don't give you much seeds. So that's what I'm going to be doing too this year, is harboring a lot of my own seeds from my garden and putting them away for next year, so I don't have to buy much seeds. Because the way how the world is going with all the wars and the supply chain gonna get held up. Fertilizer is already in trouble. For everybody who don't have an organic garden, who use fertilizer, you better know how to make your own this year. You better know how to make your own. Because they already said fertilizer is gonna be hard to get. Luckily for me, I make my own fertilizer, like my fish fertilizer, my fish emulsion and stuff like that. I make it myself. So let me know in the comments if anybody wants to see a video me making showing you how I make my fish emulsion and my fish fertilizer. And my garden absolutely loves it. And I use a lot of compost tea, and I use a lot of different things like kitchen scraps. Again, like I said, my garden is organic, so I don't put any cheese or bread or anything like that in my garden. But like fruit and all kinds of stuff like that, because I have a lot of worms in the dirt in my garden. So I want to keep the worms happy, so I feed the soil, and that's why you seen in the beginning of this video I had cardboards inside of my garden bins. So if you're curious about that, I put cardboards inside my planting basket planters because the worms love cardboard. And that's another video, of course, but if you're interested in that, you know, you could always ask ChatGPT about the beneficial uses of you putting cardboard in your garden beds. But the worms absolutely love it. And I haven't had to buy worm castings in over 2 years because I have a lot of worms that are naturally in my planters out in the yard, and they don't go nowhere. And they put off their castings, so my dirt and soil is really, really rich in nutrient. Okay. So here I've been just rambling on, but y'all pretty much get the idea of this planting thing. Sometimes I wear gloves, sometimes I don't. You know, I put on gloves when I have to, like, get into the soil and, you know, squeeze it and mix it up. But other than that, I use my old trusty thrift store spoon that I got from the thrift store for 25 cents. So we getting ready to plant these sunflowers, and these are so pretty. The seeds are so pretty. You could tell that's what the flower is going to look like. These are the most prettiest black seeds I ever seen. So, yeah, so I decided just to put this by itself in one of these bigger containers. So, you know, I'm just going to let it grow. And then hopefully once it gets big enough, I'll be able to just take it out of the container that it's in, that I'm planting it in, and just plop it right down into the garden. And she'll be able to, you know, do what she got to do from there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm plant all the sunflowers in these bigger containers, and when they become of age, I could just turn them upside down and plop them in different areas in the garden. And yeah, just do a little watering to hold the seeds down and get them, you know, nice and moist so they could germinate. I think this particular seed on the back of the package said it would take between 10 to 12 days before germination. So we'll see. But oh my goodness, this is a pretty sunflower. I'm going to go get some yellow sunflowers because I'm thinking now I think I want to have a wall of sunflowers around the garden. But yeah. Okay, so I'm back again, and I'm thinking about planting some food, some peppers, but it is really getting late, and I am like so pooped. So we're gonna see how much of this will get done. But remember, I told y'all I saved my own seeds from my garden last year. These are some of the jalapeno seeds that came from my garden from last year. So I just forgot and bought jalapeno peppers, but I have tons of seeds from my garden last year and sweet pepper seeds. So yeah, so don't forget to save your seeds at the end of the season, and you won't have to buy as many next season, okay? So there. So I'm going to keep going until I can't do any more. But we getting a lot done. That was my whole purpose for tonight, was to, get as much stuff, more stuff planted as possible, because I want my garden to be full, overflowing this summer with food and vegetables and, fruit and different things like that, because we're going to have a good time preserving food at the end of the season this year. Okay, so stay tuned. So please, if you like what you see, just do me a little favor, subscribe, like. It really helps me out, helps the channel out. I decided I want to try to grow my subscribers. At first I was just doing this YouTube thing for just fun, and just so, to keep in touch with my other family that's out of town, and we could, we all tune in and watch each other's videos. So that's basically why I was doing the videos. But now I think I just want to grow my subscriber list. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. And here we go again with these little bit of seeds. See what I'm saying? They don't give you much at all. Much at all. So that's why I'm saying, at the end of the season, if you're planting peppers, if you're planting tomatoes, save your seeds. It only takes a couple minutes. Break them out. Sit them on a paper plate somewhere nice and dry, and let them dry out a couple days. And put them in a Ziploc bag and label them. Label your Ziploc bag. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'm yawning. It's 3:30 in the morning. Label your seedlings, and then put them away. And then you'll have them for the next season, because believe it or not, Dollar Tree, I went in Dollar Tree to buy some seeds. You used to get 4 packs of seeds for $1.25. 4 packs. Now you get 3 packs for $1.75. And they don't put as much seeds in the packs no more. I said, okay, yeah, everything that's going in my garden, I'm going to do my best to save seeds from. This is why the things that I didn't have, I purchased a lot of seeds this year, like the packs of seeds that you see me planting now. Because at the end of this season, I'm going to collect all the seeds that I can from my garden and put them away for next garden season, next year in 2027. I'm going to take all of the seeds from 2026 and dry them out and stash them nice away in my greenhouse. Because we don't know, the supply chain by next year may be really awful. We may not be able to get seeds, y'all. So get what you can while you can, because the world is going crazy. And yeah, be self-sufficient. Have your own. Okay, so this is all the planting we got done tonight, and I'm gonna call it a night because it's 12:30 right now as I speak, and I gotta get ready to get some sleep because I gotta get the boys up and ready for school at 6 a.m. Okay, so yeah, so I hope this encouraged you all to use what you got to get your planting done. Do what you have to do to get your seeds planted. Yeah, this wasn't pretty, and it's not pretty, but the important thing is these seeds are planted, and we're gonna say a prayer over them and hope the Father, ask the Heavenly Father to bless them. And yeah, they'll be going in the garden in June. Okay, so we're gonna monitor the growth of these seeds. I'm gonna keep you all posted on the update of the germination of all these seeds, because I'm gonna be very transparent. Which ones germinate, I'll let you guys see and let you guys know, and the ones that didn't, oh well, hey, we'll try it again. But yeah, so the important thing is tonight they're planted and they're under a light that's going to give them a little heat. And no, this isn't a professional grow light. This is one of my husband's work lights. So you see, I use what I have to get what I have to get done. Okay, I'm a wildflower. I bloom anytime during any season and anywhere. Okay, so yeah, so I want you all to be the same way. Bloom wherever you are in any season. Okay, so yeah, so until the next video, you guys take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night. Oh, and before I let you guys go, here's some more honorable mentions from in my basement that are soon to be going out in the garden. This is some apple mint. It was planted in January. This here is some peppermint. This is some rosemary. Come on, rosemary. Come on, come on. And this is, what is this? What is this? I don't forgot what this is. Let me see. Lemongrass. No. It smells like lemon. I can't even remember what I planted. It smells like lemon. Lemon balm. I think that's lemon balm, because this is lemongrass. Because this smells like lemon as well. So this is, I know this is lemongrass. So I think this is lemon balm. See what happens when you don't label? I'm going to go back over and label them. But yeah, it has a heavy smell of lemon. So I believe that's lemon balm. And this is, I know what the lemongrass looked like, but I was surprised that this even grew. And yeah, this is another rosemary. And this is some basil. And I have some other plants upstairs that I would let you guys see. But I'm going to let you guys see them tomorrow. And yeah, these guys, so I'm going to give them another 2 weeks. No, I'll probably give them another week or so. And I'll put them outside in the garden. Yeah, so see, it can be done. It can be done, and we're going to monitor. I'm going to keep you guys with me with the growth of those other seeds that we planted together tonight. And I'm going to have you guys with me when I take those seeds that we planted tonight. I'm saying we because y'all was with me. We planted those seeds tonight, and we're going to put them out in the garden in June. Okay. And these were planted uh, in January and February. Yeah, the beginning of January, right after Christmas, uh, under a regular, my husband's regular work light. January, February, all the snowstorms and everything. I just kept them warm, made an incubator, and yeah, here we is, the end of March. And I thought this the basil would have died, but it hung in there. So, yeah. So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, for sure, this time.